Well, hey guys, Silly Tuck here. Welcome back to another episode of CZCW Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling. This is the second last episode in the series, and yeah, we're getting close here to the finish. Yeah. So I'll quickly just show you guys where we are tonight. Of course, we are in just generic venue in the Southwest, pretty much what we've been running this entire time. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So we're gonna open things up with Simon Waves backstage talking to Kerr. Simon says, "You know, Kerr, tonight I've got to face Swipe." Kerr's like, "Yeah, I know." Simon says, "Swipe was a guy who I thought I could trust." Kerr says, "Yes. Yes, you did, Simon." Simon's like, "Kerr, how can I expect, what can I expect when I go out there and fight somebody who I used to look at as a brother?" And Kerr says, "It's not up to you to fight Swipe like he's your brother. It's up to you to beat Swipe and to save all of the Coastal Zone." Simon Waves, tonight is as pivotal as any other night that you've had in the year 2018. And Simon, I know you will rise to the occasion. I know what you are capable of. And Simon just looks at Kerr and he's like, "But how am I... What if somebody else was to do what Swipe did?" And Kerr says, "It is not up to you to judge those who have taken a misstep. Simon, it is your job to forgive them when they see their error." Simon's like, "So what you're saying is that I just have to apologize? No, not you. When they come to their own understanding, you have to accept that. And if they have realized they have made a mistake, then it's up to you to forgive them." We get a video kind of highlighting Going Coastal terrorizing the American Cobras over the past couple months of tours. We show them like attacking them in like bathrooms. They're like about to get into their hotel room. They open the hotel room door and there's Going Coastal in their hotel room already. They like follow them onto the bus and they have like a stare down on the bus surrounded by a whole bunch of just regular people. Just some fun stuff to try to highlight the fact that Going Coastal, they're on a mission. So we get a new guy debuting here, Zell Quinn. He was a graduate from the dojo, even though there are only 2 episodes left. I said, why the fuck not? Bring him in. He's a guy who we can use just for some, bodies, I guess. He can just job to some dudes. Anyways, and he does so. Perez beats him about a minute and a half with a second rope backbreaker. Zell did pretty damn well. Yeah. Debuted his teen idol gimmick, and he's improving. You know what I mean? That's all you can ask for a young guy. Anyways, afterwards, Johnny Perez comes down because Perez is about to lay the boots to Quinn, this new kid. And Johnny Perez comes down, and he's like, nah, that's not cool, because he remembers that the Super Ninja, the man who died for CZCW's sins, died. He's just hurt right now, or wherever the fuck he is. It's what Super Ninja would want. And so he's always a defender of the peace. So Johnny comes down and runs off the Perez. Perez doesn't expect it, so he kind of rolls out of the ring before realizing it was Johnny, and he's kind of... the tension relaxes in him. Johnny says, "Perez, I've had enough of your bullshit. I've had enough of you running around attacking anybody you want. You're this big, uncontrollable machine. yet you're simply a pet to a weasel. Perdition, next month, welcome to the Coastal Zone. I'm going to take you on, and I'm going to break you, and you're not going to be the only thing that breaks. Perdition, me and you are going to fight in a tables match. So there you go. We've got another announcement for a match next month, our final episode. Whelan Walls makes his way to the ring for the match that was announced last month between him and Bullseye. And in about 6 minutes or so, Whelan Walls puts down Bullseye, jumping double-arm DDT. Really, Whelan Walls dominates the entire match. Bullseye can't get any offense in. Whelan just destroys him. Bullseye, you know, I don't want to say he doesn't get any offense in. He gets the occasional shot in, but Whelan just kind of like takes it, eats it, and then fires back, hitting harder against Bullseye. So backstage, we have Babao still running from Huracan now. We're a month later, and he's still chasing him around. Both of these creatures being like a demon and like a god entity. And so, you know, they don't need to eat or sleep. So they've literally been doing this for a month. And the guru comes out of his office and sees Babao go by and sees Huracan go by. And he chases them and he says, all right, stop this, okay? Babao, I understand that whatever Huracan's chasing you, Huracan, I understand that Babao's probably done something to provoke this. Next month, I want you to settle this. Alright? You two are going to fight. Welcome to the Coastal Zone. So there's another match made right there for Welcome to the Coastal Zone, sorting out the weird issues between these two. You know, Babao set free the guru. That made Huracan less favorable in the eyes of the weasel. And so now Huracan's fucking trying to kill Babao. Babao, whatever the fuck I call him. So Justin Sensitive is in the ring. He says, he's with American Elemental, and he says, Miguel, Riviera, it's time for you to come out here, and it's time for you to tell the entire world who your partner is for our tag team match next month. Because, Miguel, you're going to need a damn good partner. Because Justin Sensitive and the American Elemental, we're coming for you. We're coming for you. Miguel comes out and he says, I've got a pretty damn good partner, I'd like to think. I've got an old buddy of yours, Swipe Romero. And he's in the main event tonight. And when he beats Simon Waves, the Weasel retains his world championship when he doesn't even need to defend it, because there will be no number one contender. Then we'll beat you next month, and we'll see where the power lies. And sorry, I was just about to skip forward, but I realized I didn't set this up. Justin says, Miguel, you talk a big game, but to be honest, boy, I don't think you can back it up. You play this tough guy, you play the tough guy, you play it quite well, but I don't think you actually are a tough guy. Justin takes off his sunglasses, and he looks Riviera in the eyes, and they're face to face, and he says, you dress like that? You think that that's what makes a tough man? Look at me. Look at this suit I'm wearing. Do you know how much money this costs? No. This is worth more money than you've ever seen in your life. Miguel, I respect people like you. People who come from nothing. People who fight and claw for everything. But you're the first person in this position that I've seen sell out to somebody like the Weasel. Because me and you, Miguel, you know, to be honest, we're not that different. You're a brawler. You're a fighter. You'll do anything to win. And I'm a winner. I win by any means necessary. So right now, I want you to take that fake-ass chain off. Get your jacket off your fucking body. And I'll take this suit off. Because I'm dressed. I'm ready to go. And Miguel, let's fucking fight. And the American Elemental's like, oh shit, he gets out of the ring. Miguel slowly takes off his chain, takes his jacket off, tosses it to the side of the ring, cracks his knuckles. Sensitive drops his jacket, rips off his pants. He's in his wrestling attire, puts his sunglasses to the side of the ring, and we have ourselves a match. 43D, Miguel Rivera defeats Justin Sensitive in 11:41 by pinfall with a handful of tights. So actually what happens in this match, it's not a handful of tights. I chose tainted. I could have specified, but low-key, I got kind of lazy. I'm sorry. What happens actually is Swipe Romero from the crowd hollers at Sensitive, and Sensitive gets distracted by it, and Sensitive turns back around, and Miguel just clocks him in the face. And you can say that the pinfall was with a handful of tights, but he wasn't going to kick out anyways. Let's be honest. Sensitive was out cold. And so Sensitive works kind of it's a different style of what we're used to here in CCCW. It's a brawl-based style, but not as strong hitting as Miguel. Like, Miguel's a very strong, strike-based worker, like a boxer. Like, if you were to put a boxer without gloves in a wrestling ring, and you were like, go get him, and he'd just fucking clobber them. Sensitive's offense is based around brawling, but he's got more variety to him. He can do the occasional high-flying move. He does... grappling and stuff like that, but he's centered around the brawling, kind of, I don't want to say your average, like, sports entertainment type character, but that's kind of what I'm going for him in terms of style. So Marvin and Storm Spillane come to the ring, and, like, Storm has, like, a bandage on his head from something, and Marvel's like, you see this? You sons of bitches see this? That is from those maniacs going coastal. They hit Storm over the head with a steel chair on his way to the arena. He wasn't even out of his car yet, and they attacked him. These guys are fucking psychopaths. But, we're not giving in. We don't negotiate with terrorists, which is why, going coastal, there will be no negotiation. Next month, you show up, we're knocking you down. You can chase us all over the fucking country. For the next month, it won't matter. We're still going to be there. The first day of May. Hey, that rhymed. We'll knock you on your ass like we always do. And there will be no amount of whining that can change that. Jackpot Jordan is debuting, or re-debuting, next month. We have a very interesting tag team match here. We have Al Coleman and Teddy Powell kind of having a new... I don't want to say a new friendship, because obviously they respect each other, but they've been booking a tag team match tonight against El Jaguar, whose tag team partner Tigre Salvaje was not here, so we replaced him with Chet Chavez, a guy who we know a little well. They have similar styles, both high-flying type guys. And Al Coleman and Teddy Powell work shockingly well. They do a lot of really cool tag team maneuvers. I'm trying to think of some here in my head. I like to think that, like, Powell super kicks one of Chavez's legs out from under him, and then runs off the ropes and, like, drop kicks the back of his head, drop kicks him back of the head, and then Coleman runs in, grabs the leg that was kicked, and just, like, grabs the leg. Like, so Chavez is on his stomach, facing down, I guess, you know what I mean? And so Coleman runs in and grabs the leg that was just, like, kicked out from under him by Powell. He grabs it, puts it over his shoulder, grabs a headlock, and stands up and kind of, like, sort of torture racks him. And as he's torture racking him, Powell runs off the ropes and drop kicks like standing. What the hell's it called? It's the. Oh, what's it called? It's the Daniel Bryan drop kick. You know what I mean? I don't know what it's called, but he hits that on Chavez while he's being torture racked. I think that's a pretty decent spot. Anyways, Coleman and Powell pick up the win and work surprisingly well, and the respect continues between the two after the match. Swipe Romero cuts promo, says, Simon, yeah, I was your friend. I like to think I still am. Because Simon, I didn't betray you because I didn't like you. Simon, I think you're a great guy. You're just a little bit delusional. Let's be honest, you can't beat the Air Attack Weasel. You can't beat Perdition, a guy who was raised in a prison. You can't beat Huracan, a guy who was a fucking Mayan god. You can't beat Miguel. You can't beat Miguel Rivera, a guy who is one of the toughest. No, he is the toughest motherfucker in all of North America, possibly the world. You can't beat the Air Attack Weasel, a guy who's so smart he'll do anything to win. He's so slimy that guys who are loyal to him hardly even trust him. Simon, there's no way you can win this. I'm sorry. I had to do what I did. I had to do what I did to support myself. And anybody else who comes into my life in the future, I can't put them at risk. I'm sorry, Simon, but tonight your little adventure here, your little I'm going to save the company, well, you won't be doing any of that. You need to be saving yourself. And Simon Waves makes his way to the ring for the main event of the evening. In a 38D-, Simon Waves defeats Swipe Romero in 14-10 by pinfall with the big one. And Simon Waves, after he hits Swipe with the big one, he covers him. And he like hugs Swipe, like who isn't moving. He just kind of embraces, I don't want to say the corpse, but his body just laying there. He just embraces him for a minute and stands up and looks at the crowd. Simon Waves is going to get his shot at the Coastal Zone Championship. And as we are celebrating this beautiful moment, the Air Attack Weasel comes out and says, Simon, you know what? You did it. I give you so much props. So many props. I have so much respect for you. The fact that you would never say die. You somehow fought through all of my guys. But you haven't fought through me yet. Simon, do you know the guy who I beat to win this belt? I beat the late, great Donnie J. He's the guy who brought you into this company, isn't he? He's a guy who was your mentor. Oh, Simon, that's so funny because when I look at you and when I look at old tapes of Donnie J, I see nothing similar. Do you even listen to the man? Do you even take any of his advice? Simon, I look at Donnie J and I see a guy really who, as much as I didn't like him, I could respect. I saw a guy who was worthy of a championship. I look at you, I just see some kid who's got a delusional dream, who's got a goal that he can never reach. Because Simon Waves, next month, you're not facing Perdition. You're not facing Huracan. You're not facing Miguel Rivera. You're not facing Swipe Romero. You're facing the greatest Coastal Zone champion in the history of this company. You're facing the most dangerous man on the entire roster. You're facing the smartest man on this entire roster. Simon Waves, next month, you're facing me, the Air Attack Weasel. I hope you go home tonight and you sit there and you think about what a colossal fuck up you're about to become. Because come May the 2nd, they're not going to be talking about Simon Waves, the man who dethroned the Air Attack Weasel, the man who saved the Coastal Zone. Simon Waves, wrestling's next savior, the guy. No. They'll be talking about how Simon Waves was a guy who thought he could make a difference. You're just a kid, Simon. You're just a kid. And, yeah. I think that's good for this episode. You think so? Anyways, yeah, as always, I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. As I've got something in my throat. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do. Yeah, next episode, last episode, we're going to wrap up the series. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Silly Tuck. Signing out.